Hi guys, Layer FX Model Miniatures. Doing a little video. I've just packed up for the day. That's me done for today. But I've just got done laying the basic weather pattern across just the hull and engines of the first ROTJ Y Wing replica. Using the Archive-X Acrylics once again. I'm trying to use the new product on this Runner 5 Jedi Y-Wings I'm doing, and it's gone really well. Originally I was going to fully finish all 5 altogether, but seeing as I decided to test the base coat on this, I've kept painting. I've been fiddling around with silly little barn dies, just getting a feel for the paint. And yeah, I thought I'd see this one through to the end, so I've got a full idea. I know where I'm going, what I'm doing with these acrylics, and I've got to be honest, it's gone absolutely wonderfully today. What I've done, or what I did, I had the entire hull engines, they were in a base coat of acrylic reefer white. The cockpit is reefer white, SP Armour yellow, and M55 light blue. Obviously there's no weathering on the cockpit yet, that's just stark and ready for it. Dome bands are SP Armour. And what I've done today is, as per the ILM techniques, is I've put an airbrush wash and spatter in a lot of the detailing on the model. What I've had to do, obviously you can never get those spats, and you know, it never comes out exact. So what I did, I took the reference and I just I eyeballed every dark crevice, every dark spot, and worked along from there. On my previous 2 Y-Wings I did quite a lot of wash spatter work on the engines. I've reined that in on the physical prop. There's a lot less of that effect on the engines. It's mainly all streaking and spatter, literally by, you know, flicking the airbrush trigger. A little technique John Simmons showed us recently. I mean, it's a simple technique. I didn't, to be fair, I didn't do it like John did it. I normally used to pull back and push for air, pull back, push for air, but John flicks the trigger like that. I've been trying that technique, and thank you very much, John. It was superb. So it's worked really well on some of the finer freckling and spattering, just the general noise that's on this model. I've had to be really careful. This model is so simple in its paintwork. It's so, dare I say it, bland, really. There's not a lot going on in terms of weathering, etc. So it's really actually easy to really muck it up. I mean, yeah, it's really easy to muck it up. But I've put those washes through with the airbrush using SP Dark Lark Grey. Again, yeah, it's just a really simple paint job on this model, so there's nothing really elaborate in tons of different tones. And then I've give it just a gentle mist of light grime. Just a tip, guys, I've been messing around with the misting to combat, I say combat the speckling. As long as you're careful, it won't speckle at certain scales. But what I've done, I've found now misting, really, if you're misting with grime and most of the other kind of stone greys and whatnot, get your paint as thin as possible. Not water thin, not crazy, but around the 40-60 bracket. Again, I don't measure, but around the 40-60 bracket, 40 paint, 60% thinners, somewhere around that. Get your pressure up. I've shot this at 30 psi, and what I did, I had a spare, just a scrap piece of black styrene beside me at all times, and every now and then, if I spritzed the grime over, I was also then retesting it on the black styrene just to make sure that mist pattern was still nice and fine. Only once at that viscosity, 40-60, only once did I have to clean the needle tip. So really good, you know, really simple procedure for misting with it now. So I'm really happy in the fact that I've kind of cracked misting. I'm happy with that. And yeah, that's about it. I mean, on this, you know, what's been done today. Tomorrow there are some very subtle foundation tones to go on. There are actually some streaks. What look like almost latex stuff, spritzed areas of foundation on the model. So I'm going to add those tomorrow. Some areas just need a retouch with some SP Dark Lark, but there is also some very sparing engine black elements in the, you know, very deeper crevices, so I will add those. And yeah, that's about it. I think there are a little tiny couple of rust spots, but very, you know, if at all, nothing. I find if I saturate the images of the prop that were posted by Prop Store some years ago, if I really saturate them, I can kind of pick out some rust tones, but I'm not going to break my back in finding and doing those. You know, I'm not really 100% that they're actually there, but I'll look more on that tomorrow. As I said, you know, I want to get these Y wings as correct and as nice as I possibly can, so the people that are interested, they're happy with what they receive. Which brings me on to this model. Now, again, I did say I was going to complete all 5 and then they will be offered. Now, what I've decided to do, and they will all still be completed, guys, but what I'm doing with this model, this is model number 1, I've allocated this to Mark Graham. Reason for that, Mark has been in constant contact with me throughout this, and I've had some issues, you know, myself. I've had some mental health issues, okay? So confidence isn't always at its highest, but I'm working with new paint. I'm looking at sending these out to clients, and I want them received as well as they possibly could be. So this model, Mark, if you're watching, you are somewhat of a guinea pig, but I'm really hoping the end result will be worth the wait. And then what I'm going to do, guys, as I said, I will jump, as soon as this one's finished, I will jump straight onto the other 4 and get those completed. I mean, the build work is done, really. It's just literally fins, to these little fins to add to each model, and then they're all ready for base coat. And to be honest, if I can get the paint flowing like it has today, yeah, paint work should happen pretty quickly. But as I said, I just needed to see this one through, so I really know what I'm doing with these acrylics. And if I'm really happy, I really am. Don't know how this is coming out on camera, but to the naked eye, it's really working. The Prop Store reference on this model is very dark and very saturated, so that also makes painting it tricky. But luckily, Lee Stringer, I think it was a friend of Lee's, actually took some images of this model when it was on display on the Prop Store stand, and they're not good images for obviously part reference, but they're amazing images to just gauge where the paint tones are. They're a lot more helpful. As you can see the transition here from the Reefer White into what was Reefer White, but has now been misted with SP Dark Lark and Grime. This model is a very, very, very loose representation of what Gold 3 or the Magic of Myth Y Wing is. It follows that that paint livery, not to the letter whatsoever, but it's a loose representation of that. But yeah, guys, any questions, please by all means, message me, shoot some stuff up in the Archive-X group. I'll put some images up later in the group. But yeah, very, very happy with where I am with these acrylics now. That they are just fantastic to use. Simple, no smell, very easy to get the viscosities right now. And yeah, hopefully tomorrow, actually, there's a very strong possibility I'll finish this model tomorrow, time permitting, and then we'll have a closer look and see what I can achieve with some of the finer points and finer details. But anyway, chaps, thank you very much for watching. I do appreciate the support and kind words, and I'll see you all soon.